You were right about everything. And no, not for the cross watchers. No, you guys were not right. You were wrong. You were very wrong. Wrongteous. In this world, it's better to be righteous these days than wrongteous. You were right about everything. Every inkling that you stored away for another day, every screenshot on your Dropbox or USB stick for those of us that have been hacked and had to make clones of clones of clones. And speaking of clones, I think that we really need to talk about this before we go any further. If you really have the ability to clone someone, I'm going to go ahead and say you're responsible for that clone that you bring onto this lovely experience. Because, yeah, clean up aisle 2, clean up aisle 2. I don't even know what to do with that. But since everybody's talking about it like it's common knowledge and like it actually is possible, and since we see the monsters appearing exactly as predicted, you're responsible for you and all your clones' doings, or not doings, or havoc that they've wreaked. When you clone somebody, how can you expect us to just let it go? That, you're playing God and you're doing it wrong. There's a difference between medical research and cloning to fulfill a prophecy or worse. And some of you don't know where the line is, and others are so asleep they'll never acknowledge that this is even a thing. What do you do with that? Well, not nothing. That is clear today. Not nothing. Ignoring the conspiracies didn't make them false. Didn't make the problems go away. It just delayed things. This is, I said, vindication in some ways to many, many people. But it's not like we wanted this kind of vindication. I wish I'd been wrong about so many things that I stored away. All the signs that weren't enough to be a red flag, but definitely combined together tell the story exactly the way it was foreseen. We felt it at the time. Many of us felt it as we progressed. But you have to lean into the turn. No one was ready to find out what has been found out in just a few weeks, really. But we still have to do something about it. There are no action items coming out about what to do. Like, it's enough of a challenge just to acknowledge that, yes, this is in fact real. This is in fact what has happened, and we're going to have to deal with it. Not very uplifting. I also get the sense that those that were being followed, those that were being involved, are not. There's no incentive for them to validate, vindicate, or testify in some cases, or speak out. Like now it's like too late for that, and there frankly isn't anything to offer these people. I legit am. Why are you following me? I'm going nowhere. Okay, good. Sometimes there's nothing to offer. Okay, the time for them to do the right thing, like, they skipped that. How many times? They doubled down. How many times? You can't undo it. You can't undo it. And there's no incentive for them to make it worse for themselves. So the only thing left to do is to sell out the people that brought them there, which is what's happening now. Everyone that got everyone riled up for the wrong reason and sent them off on a self-sacrifice mission in some cases with wrong information, bad intent, are being flipped on. And so be it. You made this worth. You prolonged this, and it has harmed irreparably many people. But there isn't exactly one mask that gets ripped off and there's one person. And the cleanliness of that is not to be experienced here. There are so many people that are actually complicit, but also those that look the other way and did nothing. And we're getting to the point where we're going to start dealing with them. And there's also a lot of people that fall into two buckets of accomplice and victim. Like, they started down a path and they couldn't get out of it, and then basically they sold themselves out. That's going to take more compassion than what we've been dealing with so far. People are not wrong to be saying we want accountability and we want this sorted and we want the truth to come out. The problem is it's so complicated and it's so far-reaching that in some ways what she said the other day just makes perfect sense. You know, we would have to, and I said the other day, what are you going to do? What kind of humanly punishment is enough for what we are witnessing as the actual truth coming out? There isn't any. And many of the players are gone already, or gone. And that's the thing. And that's part of this whole network. They can self-heal the problem with money and with shape-shifting or changing identities, or, you know, sending somebody off to jail isn't enough, because clearly they're putting in stunt doubles to serve their sentence in some cases. I mean, it's just ludicrous that can happen. And then others can be disappeared, just walk out the door and go retire somewhere. But this is not new. To get this far and have that be justice isn't justice, right? So we can't settle, and it's better we not try to put a clone in jail and think that we got something done than actually solve the problem. So know thy enemy. Keep them close. Hope they do the right thing, even for themselves at this point. Self-preservation doesn't seem to be possible in some of these more native, I don't know, I'll just say it, reptilians. Even the givens aren't given anymore. It's like they're confused without their controllers. And their controllers are running for their own skin. So smile a little for that. Cheers.
Calzone.